My Hebrew brothers and sisters, the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the earth. Welcome back. This is your Moreh Yeshu Ben Uriah Israel, and we just want to thank you for your subscriptions, thank you for your likes, thank you for your comments. My brothers and my sisters, if you're watching this, viewing this video for the first time, or if you've been doing it for a period of time and you have not subscribed, we're going to ask you to hit that subscription button and like and send your comment. And also we want to ask you to invite your family members and your friends and loved ones, to like and subscribe to this channel also. My brothers and sisters, we were in Psalm 9 verses 1 and 2. We finished that. Want to start out in verse 3, and I am, occasionally I listen to this preacher. Occasionally, just to hear what he has to say, guys. So he quoted a lot of scripture. Right? He quoted a lot of scripture. So he always have debates and all that kind of stuff. He have debates with the Muslim and with a few other people. And so if you don't understand the scripture and you go on his show, he make it look like, he put you down in a sense. And he said, he have a reader to read the scripture, and so he taught. And so he make a lot of statements, but my brothers and sisters, a lot of stuff that he says, is basically true, even though, he may come from a different theological platform, and so on. He believes a lot of stuff that I believe in, as, a lot of the tradition that we have going that, is not biblical. He don't believe in a lot of those traditions himself, but he make a lot of statements that sometimes, is on. But you have to understand, everybody have a right to their opinion. But, according to the scripture, there's no private interpretation. So you can interpret the way you feel like you want to interpret it. Doesn't mean that I'm going to accept it. I'll accept something and I don't accept something. But he made a statement, I think he was in the Bahamas preaching in one of his churches down there. And he was talking about king, and, he used Haile Selassie as an example of what the Rastafarians, and he said the Jamaican Rastafarians, and the Rastafarians in Jamaica. Talk about Haile Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I know which is not all Rastas believe in like that. Okay, not all Rastas believe like that. There's some unintelligent Rastas who believe like that. If you talk about the singer, no call his name, passed away. That he also mentioned his name, but I'm not going to call his name like that. But he made a statement that really got my attention. He said, there's no Rastas in the Bible, but that's not what really got my attention, because I knew that. What really got my attention is he said there's no Hebrew Israelite in the Bible. I do not know what Bible is reading, because the Bible talks about Hebrew people and Israelite people, the same people. They were Hebrew when they went down into Egypt, my brothers and sisters. And they were Hebrew Israelites when they came out of Egypt. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And if he was Hebrew before, and he become Israel, then it's Hebrew Israel. And the children that our descendants, which we are Hebrew Israelites. So I didn't agree with him in that sense, and he probably going to send me if he read if you listen to my video and you hear me, he probably want to invite me to come so he could debate with me. Well, if you want to pay my way, buy my ticket. Buy my ticket from wherever I am in the world at that time. Buy my ticket, my return ticket, and I will come. I don't basically take pleasure in debating. The scripture says we are not to do that anyhow. We're not to argue. But I will show him in the scripture that there is, in the scripture, in my Bible that I read, Hebrew Israelite. Okay? All right. So we want to start on verse 3. Verse 3. David said, when mine enemies are returned back, they shall fail and perish at thy presence. I want us to look at the word here. They shall fall. They shall fall and perish. Okay, falling, they're going to fail, right? And they're going to perish. And the word is kashal. Kashal, the Hebrew word here. And it means, okay, this word kashal is shin, lamed, okay, shin, lamed, meaning to totter or to waver, okay, torn, weariness or weariness. People that have weakness of the leg or the ankle, especially the ankle, and to falter, and to stumble and to faint or to fall or, to cast down, be decayed, feeble, overthrown, or weak. Now, sometimes, we're walking and we stumble, right? We fall, we get up. But even though this connotate that kind of action that will happen, it is go deeper than just falling on the ground. Because a righteous person can stumble too, But it's not about the enemy here, that it just giving these, examples of what we're going to happen to him spiritually. So what's going to happen to the enemy spiritually? They're going to fall and they're going to perish. And the word perish here is abad. Abad, aleph, bet, and dalet. And this is the word abad here meaning to wander. The Hebrew word here, abad, meaning to wander. Or to wander away. And to lose oneself. To perish, to destroy, to break, to destroy, to this, they talk about destruction, like, the person not being able to escape, you're going to be undone, going to be void of, or have no way to flee. So this is what it's saying about this enemy here. Okay. In verse 4, there are 6 keywords also in verse 4 that we want to talk about. And it said the first one is maintain. Okay, look at what it said in verse 4. It said, thou hast maintained the right, this is my right and my cause. Thou sattest in the throne of judging right. So there's 6 key words here. My brothers and sisters, I'm encouraging you to have a pen and a pencil, a pen and paper to write on some of these, because I spend a lot of time to do the research for you. As I look in the scripture and look in the Hebrew and see the meaning of these words and what it really is saying to when David wrote this and what it's saying to us today. Okay, so please, by all means, have a pen and a notepad to write this down. So look at the word maintain here. And asa, the word is asa. That's the first word in this verse, the first key word. Ain, sin, and he. As I sin, sometimes it says shin, and sometimes it's sin. It depends on that consonant. It depends on where the accent is and the consonant. At one point it's shin, and most times it's a shin. And then sometimes it's a sin. Same one letter, but it's just based on where they put the accent. Okay. All right. So it means to make or to do. In the broadest sense and the widest application, my brothers and sisters. Listen to this, and this is a long list. So please, at least write some of them down if you don't write everything. Right? I'm not going to go as slow as I can so that you can write something down. Okay, all right. So I'm trying to make these studies be meaningful to you also. And so it's all about accomplish. It talks about advance. It talks about appoint, apt, be at, beware, to bear, bestow, bring it forth, or bring forth. Bruise, or bruising. Bruise, be busy. Certainly, have the charge of, commit, deal, or deal with, deck, displeasure, do, ready, dress, put in, execute, go about, govern, grant, great, hinder, hold, a feast, in parenthesis, indeed, be industrious, plus journey, keep, labor, maintain, make, be, meet, observe, be occupied, often, officer, peer, bring, come to pass, perform, practice, prepare, procure, provide, put, requite, sacrifice, serve, set, show, sin, spend, warrior, work, workman, and then it's like yield or use. These are some of the letters. And a matter of fact, this is the first letter that we see in the verse. Okay, that's maintain. That's what maintain is. Okay, look at the second letter. Look at the second letter with me. Okay, the second letter, and that's the second key word, right? The second key word. Look at that. It's a right. The word right. This because he said he maintained. He said, "Thou hast maintained my right." Okay, and this right. The word right here is mishpat. Mishpat. Mishpat, and it's mem, shin, pei, and tet, and the word here meaning a verdict, or favorable or unfavorable, and it's pronounced, or it's a judicial word, judicially, we say especially a sentence or a formal decree, human or partic, divine law, and individual or collectively, include the act, the place, the suit, the crime, and the penalty. Then they talk about like the custom, determination, the distance, the disposing, discretion, and justice. Is form to be judged, judgment, talk about the manner of and the law, lawful, measure, due, order, ordinance, right, sentence, worthy, and wrong. Okay? Look at the same verse 4. Verse 3 with me. Look at it. He said, verse 4 rather. He said, "Thou hast maintained my right and my cause." Okay? And the word cause here is deen. Deen. There are two words. There's one word is deen and one word is doom. Deen and doom. Okay, they mean the same thing, but the spelling is a little different because the accent is moved from one consonant to another. That's why the accent is moved. It's like a shift in the consonants, in the vowels form of the word. Okay, all right, and so this is judgment or plea, and the suit is a justice, is sentence, or is a tribunal, and strife is this Hebrew word references Job 19:29, and I went to read it. My brothers and sisters, this is a serious word right here, son. This is a serious word. Because this is what he said in Job. In Job 19:29, this is what he said: "Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the judgment." For wrath bringeth the punishment of the sword, He said, be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishment of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. Because my brothers, my sisters, many times people going around and they're acting, like there's no judgment. They're acting like there's no judgment. But there is judgment. We have a little bit of technical problem here. Give me a minute, please. But they're acting like there is no judgment. So sometimes you're saying something and doing something, and Hasatan is trying to mess you up. But I tell you what, you're not gonna win, Hasatan. You're not gonna win. So we got back on track. Okay. All right. So here in the verse then is saying, you must be afraid. Be afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishment of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. So there is a judgment, my brother, my sister. There is a judgment. Okay, so now it says, for thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sittest and are in the throne. You sittest in the throne. Right? And so the next word here is throne, because these are keywords. These are keywords and they're important. So write it down, throne, and then put if you're reading the Bible, just put a mark, draw a line under the letters, so you know that's a keyword. Okay. But notice here, my brothers and my sisters, that this fourth keyword here in Psalm 9:4 is throne, and it's spelled Kisi, or Kise. Kisi or Kise is the same word, but just spell. It's two words, but mean the same thing, rather. And so the Kisi and Kise. Kisi is Kaf, Samek, and He, meaning covered. A covered throne or a seat, or a stool or a throne. Okay? And the fifth keyword is the word judging. Remember I say, for thou hast maintained my right and my cause, thou sittest or sattest in the throne. And it said judging, and look at the word judging there. Judging. He said this word is shafat. Shafat. It is shin, pei, and tet. In some of the Hebrew word, pei, sometimes some of the words we say fe. Fe and pei. There's, they're basically the same. Okay? And so they're basically the same word. Mean the same thing. Okay? So it means to judge, to pronounce a sentence, for or against, or by implication to vindicate or to punish, to govern, to defend, to execute judgment, to be a judge, need plead or reason or rule, because that's what the word is. Okay, and then the six key words in that verse is the last word of the verse, and it's right, right. And this word here is right is sedek is a kind of hard word to call, and you have to pronounce it like a TZ or TS. You know, it's a TSEHDEK, sedek, TSEDEQ. That's the Hebrew. That's what the phonetics in the Hebrew spelling. But it is Sedi, Dalet, and Kaf. And it means right. Or when we talk about right here, talk about in a national and moral sense of the word. It's a legal, also equity, prosperity, even that which is altogether just, righteous, or right, or cause, or causeliness. Okay, that's what it said there. In verse 4, as we see there, let's see, it said, "For thou hast maintained my right and my cause." So David is saying here, he's praising Yahweh, right? He's praising him. In verse, remember, go back to verse 2, he said, he's glad and he's rejoicing in Yahweh. And he said he was going to sing praises to his name, O Most High Elyon. I'm going to sing praises. And these are the reasons why he's going to do it. When his enemy is turned back, what's going to happen to them? They're going to fall and they're going to perish. And he said, because, this is the reason, because they're going to perish, because of the fact that Yahuwah has maintained his cause, his right and his cause. And Yahuwah is sitting on the throne. And Yahuwah is judging, and my brothers and my sisters, he is not judging partial. He is judging right. You see, there's no unrighteousness in Yahuwah, my brothers and my sisters. No unrighteousness in him. So when he judges right. He's righteous. He's perfect. And whatever he does it perfectly. So my brothers and my sisters, I'm going to ask you to be a blessing to someone today. Be a blessing to someone today. And walk with the King. Shalom.